Hi, welcome, subscribe, like, introduction music. Alright, good, now we can start the video. So why passive income is not the best way to become rich. So there's no misunderstanding, passive income is a great way to live rich, but is not a very efficient method to become rich. I appreciate that this may not make sense, so I'll explain. If you've been watching money YouTube videos, I'm sure that you're aware of the concept of living off passive income. It is a great idea that we can rely on rental income or share dividends to pay our bills rather than having to rely to work or selling investments. Think of it as using electricity from a solar panel rather than getting electricity from burning a pile of coal where you would eventually run out. In order to obtain financial freedom, it is absolutely necessary to have a portfolio with passive income investments. I'm not arguing against that. If you're rich enough to retire on passive income already, this video is not for you. This video is for those of us who are still working towards an optional retirement. If you're just starting, or even if you're halfway through your journey to financial freedom, the best way to go about it is to target capital appreciation assets rather than cash flow assets. The best example of a capital appreciation asset is a share which does not pay a dividend. And the reason this is the best way to grow your wealth is because of a tax office. Most countries in the world have a taxation system of diminishing returns on income. As an example, a person earning $100,000 per year will have to pay a higher percentage of their income than a person earning $30,000 per year. The best way to explain my point here is to use an example. Let's imagine that both Smokey and Roma are both earning $60,000 per year. They both invest $100,000 into companies who grow by 10%. However, Roma's investment is all paid out in cash and dividends straight away. So after a year, Smokey's investment is $110,000, whereas Roma's investment of the $100,000 with $10,000 cash paid out. Now, are they equally as wealthy as each other? I think you already know the answer. The answer is no, as Roma will have to pay roughly $3,550 extra in taxes, which would leave her $6,450 in growth, versus Smokey, who kept the entirety of his growth. But Smokey will have to pay tax at some stage, right? Well, yes, he will, but he can choose to sell his assets in a year where he does not have a high employment income. If he does this in retirement, he will not be taxed a single dollar until he passes $19,000. Now these rates are for Australia, but the same principle applies all over the world. It's amazing to think that your growth will be slowed down by 35% if you try to become rich through cash flow rather than through growth. And outside of the share market, this is a very hard concept to apply. Real estate has a rental income even if you purchase a property with the hopes of capital appreciation, and cryptocurrency is far too volatile to risk replacing a large portion of your wealth. Even my beloved market index ETFs pay out the minority of their growth into dividends. My hopes of this video is that you are now aware of the pros and cons of picking between passive cash flow investments versus capital appreciation assets. Now if that is not enough of a reason for you, I'll give you a second reason. If you're only receiving your employment income, it'll be easy for you to stay disciplined with your savings and sticking to your budget. However, if you had money landing into your account from a variety of sources, I bet that you would eventually cave and waste money on things that you do not need. As an example of how this could apply, I'm sure that we all know someone who's horrible at saving money, but somehow they are miraculously able to pay their mortgage. Now the same principle applies here. If you're constantly seeing large amounts of money going into your accounts, you'll become less disciplined in saving money. So, I really hope you got something out of this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that other stuff. Thanks, bye.